Scorpio. Okay. First of all, in love. Okay, I feel like the Tower card and the Moon being next to this sort of column here, it is a message here that there is shakeups in love for some of you. More to do with a fight or a struggle happening here. The Tower card can often give us shakeups, calamities. It can be self-critical behavior or self-sabotaging behavior in a relationship. It's also unforeseen circumstances or outside influences of our relationship affecting some sort of connection here. Okay, now it could be the past, it could be you know, the fact that maybe we need to travel for work. Suddenly there's a distance created between us and another person. Maybe it's an ex, maybe it's children from another union, but it could cause, with the Tower works, there could be a bit of a spanner in the works. And I mentioned it's almost like an ability for someone to prove how much they want you, or for you to prove how much you want them. The Tower card is really going to set a precedent in your love relationships or unions or attractions. It's almost like something is going to come up and it's going to be very revealing, very telling of how someone really feels or how far they're willing to go for you or your relationship or your connection. Because there's primitive behavior here. You've got the Moon card with the animals. Now this displays, you know, animalistic behavior is very instinctive, so you're going to see someone's first instinct, okay? What their first reaction is when that Tower moment hits. Of course, it might not be for all of you. And essentially what you're wanting, this is a Cancer card, essentially what you're wanting is the formation of a deep connection, which I do think is taking place. But sometimes with the Tower card here in this reading as well, it can show that someone is becoming too overly dependent on you, okay? Or you're becoming too overly dependent on someone else. And suddenly this creates tensions and burdensome energy. This is hard work. Yes, it's a lot of focus and appreciation and devotion and attention that might be coming from someone. Maybe a fire sign. You have a lot of signs here. So maybe more so if you are dealing with a fire sign, you're going to see that this person is more committed than ever before. Again, setting precedents. It's setting standards or setting the bar, raising the bar, things like that. But it can create hardship. As much as the Ace of Swords is a God-gifted renewal or God-gifted new beginning, the number 1 here, the number 10 with the Ace, which can resemble the number 1, shows that it's not going to be an easy new beginning, that it's going to be testing, that there's going to be obstacles. Nonetheless, the two of you can become even stronger. You've got the beautiful Two of Cups here. Some of you are definitely coming into a very beautiful union, the next stage of your relationship. There's possibly marriage, eloping, renewing of vows or sudden proposals that come to you. Also formations, relationships that are being formed. There is a Leo here, you've got Cancer. So initiative in relationships here. But this is also finding a twin flame connection. Especially if you're heartbroken, Scorpio, or you're still healing. Maybe you're healing from a fire sign, a water sign. Something you're not seeing though, because you represent the cups, you're looking at this situation here. But I want to say that there's either a second attempt at a relationship, and you're going to put the past in the past, bridge underwater, or there's a twin flame union that's coming into your life. Very, very beautiful union, a lot of compatibility, and the two of you are mirroring each other. Now, that might be that you have similar features, similar characteristics, similar views on religion, reading, writing, you know, similar interests, common grounds, or your lives are somehow mirroring each other's. You've come from the same background, your parents are both divorced, deceased, whatever it is that's happening. There's something that you share. But there's also grief, okay? There's grief with the Five of Cups. Now, this isn't always bad grief. It can be like just any sort of emotion that's overwhelming, whether it's happy, like tears of joy, or tears of sadness. It can be emotional highs and lows. So that's coming into play here. Now, it can be an overwhelming amount of emotion because you meet someone that's got an electric connection. They're Cancer energy here, so they're sentimental. They love to take you under their wing. They've got a big heart. They're very nurturing. They're very big on affection. They're wanting this from you, or vice versa, you're wanting this from them, Scorpio. And essentially what I think that points to is that it is a twin flame connection, which more often than not, is attached with intense emotions or life lessons. And I think there's a lot of karmic lessons that are coming in around relationships for you, Scorpio. But for the most part, like I said, it's putting up a fight, either fighting for someone, or you're going to see how much they're fighting for you. And if they're not fighting enough, it can result in this, okay? Anxiousness, the reason to, you want to explode or become primitive, or, you want to follow your instinct and be like, well, why aren't you doing this for me? I've done this and you're not reacting the way I want you to. So maybe it's food for thought here. Maybe the things that you'll come to learn are going to change things for you. Maybe things are going to get heavier. Nonetheless, it's going to somehow complete, okay, a cycle, or something about completion, okay, coming in around you. Let's move on, however, and have a look at your career, business, finance for the month Scorpio. Okay, career progression coming up with the Chariot card here. Possible promotions coming in for some of you, or branching out on your own here. I do see a collaboration. The Four of Wands is a union, and you also have the Black and White Sphinx. It could be someone of the opposite sex or same sex, but it's actually written in the stars that the two of you are going to form something great. You might come up with a great idea. You might come up with some sort of new opportunity, a new business idea, something that you can implement in an existing company. But there's progression, okay? Or the promise of progression. There might be a meeting taking place, okay? There could be a meeting. A lot of people could be involved, or it could be quite intimate. And suddenly the notion of progression or opportunities, the world opens up. So I feel like new doors will be opening up for you, Scorpio, in regards to your career. The Chariot is all about status. So for some of you, your status will change somehow. Your titles in the workplace, job role, responsibilities, delegations, tasks that are attributed to you. There could be a change coming in with the Chariot card, absolutely. Could also be a Cancer coming in around you that's destined to be around you in the workplace or creatively. But again, the notion of stars, fame, recognition, prominence, and elevation are coming in around you. Some of you are starting something autonomous, however, Scorpio. You might be sharing it with your friends. You might be launching it to the world. But I feel like some of you are going to have an independent business or an enterprise. Maybe it's a hobby turned lucrative adventure. The magician is known for his talents, for his crafts. He's also big on performances and showmanship. So I feel like you've got something to show or boast about even, okay? And maybe this is you boasting to your friends and family, Scorpio. I like this because it is Aries energy, so it is a trailblazing energy. It is setting a trend. It is initiation or starting something new. And everything, you've got everything out on your table here. So you've collected your resources and you're in a stage where you're really ready to take the world by storm, Scorpio. You also have the beautiful infinity symbol here. Infinite possibilities, cycles, things that are coming back around, okay? Fate might be sending you opportunities that were once lost to you, or opportunities that you once didn't take. These opportunities could definitely be making themselves come to you, making themselves presented to you during this month. Some of you might be seeking financial assistance or gaining help somehow. You've got the scales of justice here, so contracts could be coming in. Government organizations, paperwork, documents, jurisdiction, authority, or you're in a position to give someone aid. Now, there might be an earth sign here, the Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, but you do have the 6 and the 9 of Pentacles in career, so I am seeing some sort of assistance, investments, someone asking for help from you, or you seeking help from someone else. Could be a person, an organization, a creditor, that you are seeking help or assistance, and that assistance will be given to you, which I think shows relief. Okay, there's relief and understanding, and things being laid to rest. Things are definitely more calm. If there is any financial upheaval, Scorpio, I do see that that will be sorting itself out potentially at the end of the month. There possibly is a work event or celebration, which I mentioned with the Four of Wands. It could be an intimate celebration, or there could be a lot of people invited to this, but there's a reason to celebrate because it's toast, it's succession, and it's relief. It's also an agreement on something that all parties will be very happy with. So I don't think anyone is drawing the short end of the stick here. I mean, that's a possibility because they're in a bit of a precarious situation, maybe. But I think for the most part, if you have any business meetings or agreements, or if this is like a collaborative project and you want everyone to see eye to eye, it could indicate, the cards could indicate here that you will reach that stage where you're all seeing eye to eye. Look, there might be a bit of a fork in the road and decisions that need to be made, decisions that weigh heavy. There might be surprises in the workplace as well, things you didn't see coming. So maybe a few curveballs along the way, Scorpio, but for the most part, I think this is showing that there is decisions to be made and things you have to fight for. You've got two swords up here. Now, there could be a bit of block in communication, which I did sort of mention briefly in the general reading. It's either messages won't be received or there might be a bit of miscommunication. So be very direct because the Magician is open to interpretation. He can be seen as a bit of a manipulator, or he can alter the way we see things. So maybe further investigation, research, triple checking, double checking documents and papers might be important during this time. I will leave it at that though, Scorpio. Thanks again for tuning in.